174 days. That's how long I've been investing $10 a day into SCHD. And in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how my investment has performed since that time. Man, let me tell you, if you have not been investing in the stock market over the past few months, you have been missing out on some tremendous movement to the upside. One of the reasons that I started investing in this portfolio right here on my channel back in January of 2024 was to show people how easy it was to get started with investing, to get you off of the sidelines and into the game so you can start to build wealth. It doesn't take a lot of money to get started, but with a little bit of consistency, you can start to build out an investment portfolio over time. Now, if you haven't watched any of my previous update videos, SCHD is the second index fund that I added to my portfolio. I started out investing $5 a day in VOO. I uploaded an update a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, make sure you head down to the description and I will have it linked down there for you to check that out. Make sure you stick around because later on in the video, I'm gonna have a giveaway and I'm gonna be making an announcement as well. So make sure you stick around for that. All right, so now we're taking a look at my investment in SCHD. And as of today, I have an open P&L of minus $9.55, and I'm down roughly about 0.5% in this investment. Earlier, I mentioned that the market has been on fire, and it has been, but what I've noticed about SCHD is it does not move to the upside or to the downside as much as my investment in VOO or in VGT. However, we have had the benefit of investing in this index fund at a lower cost after it split late last year. And then on top of that, of course, we receive a dividend every quarter, and I'll review what I received from a dividend perspective a little bit later in the video. If you look to the right, you'll see that my P&L on the day is I'm up $13.58, and I'm up almost 0.8%. So overall, I'm down, but today the market did move sharply to the upside and we were able to recover a little bit, which is why you see that I'm green today, but overall I'm red in this investment. And then if you take a look right below that, you see I have a market value of $1,761.61. So that's the current value of my investment in SCHD. And I have a total cost of $1,771.16. And I have an average price of $27.29. So as of right now, I've got 64 shares of SCHD. So we're knocking on the door to 65 shares right there. And this investment accounts for 34.6% of my portfolio. So right now I've got 3 investments in this portfolio, and this investment, SCHD, makes up almost 35% of the portfolio. And the last price that I was able to purchase SCHD, which was $27.14. So not a lot of movement from a pricing perspective from SCHD since I started investing in it. However, my number of shares have continued to rise with every update that I provided to you guys. So I'm just going to continue to be consistent and invest in this position every single day. I recently surpassed 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone that has supported me since I started this journey on YouTube. Now it's my time to give back to you. Now, with that said, I'm going to be giving away 2 one-hour one-on-one coaching sessions for absolutely free. Now, in order to put your name in to be selected for the one-on-one coaching, I need you to do the following. Number 1, like the video. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Number 3, share this video with anyone that you think could benefit from learning how to invest in the stock market. Number 4, be willing to participate in the one-on-one coaching session and take it seriously. And number 5, leaving an honest review and feedback of how I did during our time together. If that sounds like a plan to you, make sure you leave a comment down below. At the end of July of 2025, I'm going to be going through my comment section and I'm going to be selecting the 2 people to participate in the free coaching sessions. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Once I reach out to you, I'll be asking you to send me a message on my Instagram page so we can work together to get your one-on-one schedule. In addition to giving away the 2 free one-on-one coaching sessions, I'm also going to be discounting my coaching program through the month of July of 2025. So if you're interested in jumping into one of those coaching programs, whether that's financial coaching or career coaching, make sure you check the link in the description below. Now, back to the video. Now, right here on this screen right here, we'll take a look that we opened today at $26.91. And then if you take a look to the right of that, right in the middle column, you'll see that we have a 52-week high of $28.90. And as of today, when the market closed, we closed at $27.14. So we're not too far off from the 52-week high. And then you look below that and you see the 52-week low is $23.64. And again, I mentioned this on my VOO update, but the 52-week low is right around the time when we had the beginning of the tariff war at the beginning of the year. So we did see a pullback in the market, but obviously the market has recovered and we are now surging at all-time highs across many different companies. So even though there's not a lot of movement in the price of this particular investment, we are still trading near all-time highs for SCHD. All right, so now we take a look at the chart right here. And what we're looking at is a candlestick chart of how SCHD has moved over the past few months. So each one of these candlesticks represents 1 week of trading for SCHD in the market. And as you could see, we have our 52-week low there, right near the purple line down there of the 2364. And of course, we have our 52-week high up there at the 2890. So we've seen some movement to the upside, then to the downside after the tariff trade war. And then of course, we're slowly moving back to the upside. Now, I've received a lot of comments on my last update video where some people have decided to move away from SCHD, and I think that's perfectly fine. However, I'm in it for the long haul. I like the low price of SCHD right now, and I'm going to continue to invest in it for the foreseeable future. Now, there were several people that left me comments that said that they were in the hundreds or even in the thousands of SCHD. So if you're investing more than $10 a day into this position, or if you're just investing monthly, weekly, however you're investing, continue to make sure that you invest in the market. Maybe also take a look at adding some additional investments to your portfolio. But if you just want to go all in on SCHD and that works for you, then that's fine too. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about how much I've received in dividends since I started investing in SCHD. So far I have received a total of $26.18 in dividends. When I first started investing in this position at the end of 2024, my first dividend payout was $2.42. And then my second dividend payout was $8.56. And then my last dividend payment that I received a few weeks ago was $15.20. So as you can see, the amount that I am receiving in dividends has continued to increase. And I expect that number to substantially start to increase once I get to 500 or 1,000 shares and beyond. That number is going to continue to go up as long as this particular index fund continues to pay out the same amount of dividends that they have been paying out. Now, one other thing that I want to mention about the dividends, I have set up the dividend reinvestment program, DRIP, for this particular investment, meaning that every single time that a dividend is paid out for SCHD, as well as my other investments in this portfolio, it is automatically reinvested back into my position. So I'm not taking any of these dividends as a payout. I'm just having them reinvest back into my position, and it's continuing to buy fractional shares of SCHD on my behalf. Now, you don't have to sign up for the dividend reinvestment program. My suggestion is that you do, and you continue to allow that to purchase more shares for you, because the $15.20 is not a lot of money, but that is more than half of an additional share of SCHD that I was able to get just by reinvesting the dividends back into my position. So eventually we're going to get to a point to where we're going to be able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shares of SCHD added to our portfolio just from the dividends that we receive. All right, so I just want to quickly just remind everyone of some of the top holdings in SCHD. Now, if you're not aware of the investments inside of this index fund. I'll make sure to include a link to an ETF database that I use to do all of my reviews and evaluations of my investments prior to investing in them. So right here up on the screen here, and I won't go through all of these, but maybe just the top 4 or 5. You've got Texas Instruments, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Merck, Cisco. All of those companies represent a minimum of 4% of the investment mix within SCHD. So if you want to go in to your brokerage account and you want to take a look at the top 15 holdings here, maybe you want to check out AbbVie or Pepsi or Amgen or Home Depot, you can take a look at how each one of those companies are performing individually as well, because that also ties into how the overall fund is performing. But each one of these companies that are listed have a long history of paying out a dividend, and they're very strong companies. And I also like the fact that it has a really good mixture of the amount of money that this fund is invested in each one of these companies. So there's not one company in here that is completely out of whack, and it's not heavily weighted to just one company or a small handful of companies. All right, guys, so that's my update in my investment in SCHD. Now, let me tell you what, I may not have made a lot of money in this investment so far, but I've often say that building wealth is often a slow process, especially in the beginning. And there's no difference here. We're going to continue to invest every single day. And as I continue to give these updates, I want to make sure that I point that out to you guys, that it's steady investing. I have it set up to automatically invest, so I don't even really have to do anything. I've mentioned that before, and I'm going to continue to hammer that home. Automate as much of your processes as you can, because it makes things so much easier, and you don't get to a point to where it's time to invest, but you're thinking, you know what? I normally invest $100 every time I get paid into this investment, but I'm only going to do $75 because I need this additional $25 to do whatever. Have it set up to invest the same amount every time you get paid or every single month, and have it automatically moved over into your brokerage account so you don't have to make those decisions. They're already made for you. You've already made the decision what's going to be moved over into your brokerage account, what's going to be moved over to your savings account, and what you're going to have left in your checking account to spend on whatever you want. Guys, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. I am trying to build wealth. I am unapologetically trying to become as wealthy as possible. And I want to do that right here on this channel in front of you guys. No gatekeeping, no secrets, no BS, just showing you guys the real deal behind my portfolio and showing you real returns, and just hoping that you guys can take some of this information that I'm providing. And maybe you don't like SCHD. Maybe you want to invest in something else, and that's completely fine, but you have the blueprint now. You know how to invest. So leave a comment down below and let me know, how long ago did you start investing? Did you start investing with me when I started this portfolio right here on this channel? I know that there are a lot of you guys out there that either started with me or jumped into this challenge along the way. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Are you still investing daily? Are you investing weekly? Are you investing monthly? Just let me know how you're doing, and if you have any questions about your portfolio. Guys, we are going to continue to build out this portfolio, and we are going to get this bag together.